Welcome to another Giant Take YouTube video here in alternate locations. I am in Florida. Alex is in normal New Jersey, and basically it is nice and hot here, and that is why I closed the shade. So if you see complete darkness besides right in front of my face where the light is coming, ask Alex because he told me to close the shade. There's too much light coming in apparently, but you know what? The light's coming in because the Giants have made another signing here in free agency, and that is bringing in nose tackle, veteran, defensive end, whatever you want to call it, Danny Shelton. It's a very interesting signing, a good signing. I actually like it. And when we made the signing, I originally thought, another guy on a $2.5 million deal competing for the spot. But it looks like he's not going to be the long-term solution at the position, but it looks like he will be the alternate or alternative, whatever you want to call it, the alternate solution to Dalvin Tomlinson for this season. It looks like he'll be taking that position as the run stuffer on that defensive end, and he will be replacing Dalvin Tomlinson for at least the near future, unless we take someone early in the draft, which I don't see happening. So not a bad signing by the New York Giants. I actually like it. Shelton's played for the Detroit Lions. He's played for the Patriots, and he's won a Super Bowl with them, and he also played for the Cleveland Browns early in his career. He was picked 12th overall in the 2015 NFL draft, and I have some other stuff on him that I'll bring up. But the big thing that stands out to me, 6'2", 345. The man is almost 350 pounds, and he is coming in to stop the run. So obviously that means that he will not, I'm not going to say he's not the fastest guy, but if the running backs get past him at the line of scrimmage, he will be gone, basically. But he is known as the run stuffer. Obviously, will stop the run game after 1 or 2 yards at the nose tackle position. But I haven't let my co-host here go to the left of me. Alex, first of all, how are you doing on this Tuesday when we're recording this episode? That's first. And then secondly, what do you think of the signing of Danny Shelton?
I'm doing good. We've been having some logistical issues, like you mentioned, with, locations. And, Josh, obviously, he's on business tour here for the Giant Take in Florida. But Danny Shelton, I think he's a good signing. We're thinking it's going to be around 1 year, $2.5 million a year. We're not really sure. Nothing officials come out yet, really, even though it's been almost a day now, or at least 16 hours or so since the signing got announced. He had a visit with the Giants before they signed him. He was in the facility, and obviously they liked him enough to sign him to a 1-year deal. In terms of a replacement for Dalvin Tomlinson, I wouldn't say he's like a replacement per se, because they're different types of players, right? Dalvin Tomlinson has more to his game besides just stuffing the run. He can rush the passer a little bit, whereas this guy really, Danny Shelton, can't rush the passer whatsoever. He's really only a run stuffer. So I think him and Austin Johnson will kind of be competing for that nose tackle role. Austin Johnson, I think, has a little bit more flexibility. So I think on, these third and shorts, goal line stands, I think you'll be seeing Danny Shelton a lot. But I don't think he's, going to be playing every down. But I think it's a nice piece to add to our defense. 1-year deal. Hopefully he plays well. Like you mentioned, he was drafted by the Browns, played his first 3 years there, then went to New England. Last year he was in Detroit, and now obviously he's coming to the Giants. So he did have that Joe Judge connection in New England, obviously while they were both there at that time. And like you mentioned, he is a Super Bowl winner, so maybe he can bring that same mentality to the Giants.
And I'm not going to say he's a bad player, right? I'm just saying right now he's the alternate solution. He's only signing a 1-year deal with the team that we do know. The money, the specifics of the money we don't know, but we're assuming that 2.5 mil range, as Alex mentioned. But I mean, the guy is 27 years old. He has a good season. Maybe we re-sign him for another, maybe it's double the money, for 4 mil, whatever. But he has a good year. We could definitely re-sign the guy. I mean, it's a nice deal. It's flexible. Obviously, with the only 1 year, he's played in about 87 games, 72 starts in 6 seasons for Cleveland, New England, and Detroit. He also played in 3 postseason games, starting 2 for the Patriots, including the Super Bowl victory against the Rams. That's from Giants.com. And Joe Judge was New England special team coordinator and the wide receivers coach when Shelton played there. Shelton's career total includes 247 tackles. That's 126 solo tackles included in there. 16 tackles for loss, 5.5 sacks, 18 quarterback hits, and 1 forced fumble. In the playoffs, he had 9 tackles, 7 solo, including 1 for loss. And you can see the big man here. I can see if the phone really works, if you can really tell, not really from that angle, but here, the big man Danny Shelton. So you can see basically a lot of the 345, whatever you want to call it, pounds that we're bringing in. Compared to Dalvin Tomlinson, I think Tomlinson's in that 300 range. I think he's like 320, but he's going to bring definitely a little bit more, like about 15 to 20 more pounds to the New York Giants. So that's definitely a big thing. But I mean, we just wanted to get a quick video up about it. Obviously, I think when we first saw the deal, maybe not a video worthy type of thing we just mentioned in the podcast, but now thinking about it a little bit more, it looks like he will. I have full confidence that since he's a veteran who's played with Joe Judge, he's going to be replacing Dalvin Tomlinson this season. We'll see him a good amount of times. I think he'll make the roster, and I think he'll be part of this New York Giants team. Just going to his best season, it would probably be in 2019 with New England. 3 sacks, 61 tackles, 30 solo tackles, 2 tackles for loss, and 6 QB hits that season. That's his best season. Then I found. Any final thoughts, Alex, before we conclude this, wrap this one up?
Yeah, so I think it's going to be a solid signing for the Giants. I'm excited to see what he can do. It's definitely a position of need. I think you could definitely see us drafting a nose tackle later in the draft, maybe 5th or 5th, 6th, 4th round, something like that. But yeah, I think he's a solid 1 year. He's a nice fill in the gap player, and hopefully we can find a better long-term solution. Decent career up to now. Maybe he can really prove himself under Joe Judge. But besides that, I think that's all we have for today. We'll have our podcast episode out on Thursday. Depending on the time, obviously with Josh in Florida, we're going to have some different scheduled a little bit. So nothing's really guaranteed, but we're hoping to have it out on Thursday.
Yeah, it should be out by Thursday, maybe a little bit later in the day. For the Giant Take podcast, though, a lot of stuff coming up. So we're really excited to bring you everything. We're going to have a mock draft video, a first-round mock draft video coming up soon. That'll also be on the Giant Take blog section. That'll take away the blog section for this week. We'll be posting that instead. So very exciting stuff coming there. I want to say hopefully because, it's never definite. Hopefully on Thursday we'll be able to get a special guest on this podcast. We're very excited if they come on. But, it should be a done deal, but we're excited. It's a beat reporter, so Giants beat reporter. We'll hopefully get him on Thursday. But new episode coming out on Thursday at some point, hopefully, if not Friday morning. And then first round mock draft, we'll have a video up soon on there as well. And then obviously your draft coverage every week, whether it's on the podcast or a solo video, will be coming up soon. We'll talk about it in the episode. But the Giants, Coach Joe Judge, they've been spotted, especially with Bill Belichick, actually, at different pro days around, the United States. So we'll obviously be getting into that, in the episodes. But wherever you're listening, follow us on Twitter at the Giant Take Pod. That's where we, get our news info out there. Sign up for our newsletter on the website. Visit thegianttake.com. Subscribe here on YouTube. Drop a like. We really appreciate it. And we will see you next time with another Giant Take video, or if it's by Thursday or Friday, the new Giant Take episode.